Hello there, Fur and the Fan friends, and welcome to this week's episode where we are talking power. We've got a shockingly good video for you today, so why don't we go ahead and get started. We are talking about electrifying our little camper today. Now, when we're going to electrify this camper, there's only one huge problem with this, and that problem is I don't know that much about electronics. Now, I know a little bit about the regular house voltage, but I don't know about electronics. So I have been studying up on what we need to do to add power to our little camper. So we bought some lights here. We have this little electronical USB port. We have a fuse box. And we have this really fancy little voltage regulator something, I don't know what it's called. I just went on the inner screen there and I looked up a bunch of stuff and I ordered a bunch of stuff. But the problem is, how much power are we gonna need in our little camper? We have over 500 little power light surgy things that are going into this camper. So what I've decided to do is I went ahead and I calculated out a few things we're going to need. Okay, so what do we have here? We have, knowing what I know about electronics, we need to operate 500 LEDs. We need battery voltage readout. We need a USB full and half size ports. We need 2 mini site stations, sources on the wall. Let's see, we need possible expansion for a water pump in the future. Let's see, we're gonna have to have, let's see, how do you do that? You calculate the volts and you have some amperage and you have the sine with the cosine, and then you subtract that differential with some side of, oh yeah, the capacities, and then that spine separates that going into the need. I calculate we're going to need, see, wattage and amperage. Divide that into the denominator. We're going to need 1.21 gigawatts of power!
1.21 gigawatts! 1.21 gigawatts! Praise God!
No, that can't be right. Maybe the answer to our question is right here in these transmission lines of 265,000 volts. No, that can't be the answer. Right here is the power to my house. It's got 120 volts with capabilities up to 240 volts. That is power. Is that the answer? What's this loose wire? I don't think that's the answer either. Medic! Maybe the answer lies right here in this power box of 12 volts. The good thing is when you touch it, whoa, it's just a little tickle. All right, some of you might be saying, Fur, you got a little bit silly on that one. But it was fun, right? Right. All right, well, hey, we're all about having fun. Why don't we go back to our Popular Mechanics magazine and see what it has as answers to the question of what power are we going to use in this camper? Now from our magazine, you can see it has the 110 system. It starts here with an outlet and it comes over here to a 110 voltage light. And that's pretty much it for their 110 system, which it's not a whole lot. And then when they go to the 12 volt system, they have a light on this side of the camper, a light on the opposite side, and they have a light out here on the hatch, and it goes down here to a battery. And that is pretty much it for the entire electrical system. And so that is why we're using 12 volts as the answer to our question of how we're going to power this little camper. Now today, obviously I'm not going to get real technical. We're going to keep this video real simple and fun because I don't think you need to really know about amps and bolts and all that stuff. You just want to see the pretty stuff, and so do I. So what we're going to do is we are going to follow along again with the spirit of the magazine and change things up just a little bit. We have these LED strip lights here, which we're going to be using in several locations. I'll show you those in just a minute. We are going to be using these two lovely sconce type lights. We have two of those. They're going to go inside. I'll show you those in a minute. We are going to have a little battery monitor so we know how much power is still left in the battery. And of course, we're going to have a fuse box. That way we have 6 open circuits, and we're going to be using 2 circuits for the lights, and then we'll have the 4 open ones for later additions if we want to add stuff to our camper. And the all important for this generation, this age, this time of life, we have USB port, and we have both the Type-C and the regular USB. That way we can charge our phone or charge our iPod. Yes, I said iPod. And whatever else we need to, so we can watch our movies. And finally, we have a battery shut-off switch. So all those little pieces, I think, will go ahead and make up the simple electrical system for our camper at this time. And I say at this time because there's always expansion possibilities in the future. So let me show you where we're going to put things and why. Let's start right here in the back where our magazine shows us they want to have a light in the little hatch up here, and they also have a light on the side. What we're going to do is we're going to have one of these LED strips, and it's actually hidden under here so that you can't see it. One thing I don't like when outside at night is to have a light shining right in my face. So we're going to have a light under here that's hidden. And then that gives us enough light for this area here. And I put one of these little LED strips over here so that it will add light into the bottom of our ice box when I'm ready for that nice cool beverage. I put a light over here so that when this hatch is open, it'll actually shine down inside of this box, so we'll be able to see our little propane stove and the water system, which is coming up next week. And trust me, it's going to be cool. Little heads up there. Okay, so now the reason I've stuck them back here and back here is because they're going to be hidden from sight. Again, I want to have lights. I don't want to see lights. Okay. The other thing we have, the other thing I've decided to do is I want our fuses and our battery turn off on switch. I want to have them accessible but not seen. So what we're going to do is we're going to place them up here and here so that you can reach around here after the panel is on, of course. You can reach around here, you can see it, turn them off, turn them on, and you won't see it from the outside. On the interior of our camper, we're going to be placing 3 lights. One in here and the 2 sconces. So let's go ahead and install some of these lights on the inside. One's going to be in this area here. We're going to use this nice LED strip, which should give nice general lighting. And then the other 2 are going to be our sconce lights. For this light, it's really simple attachment. You have these little L brackets here, and you just screw them into the top and then snap the light into place. Having marked where the holes are going to go, we'll just drill a couple of pilot holes. We'll just add these little screws to our brackets. Now we have our little brackets installed. Let's just push this into place. Perfect. Now let's run a wire from our light here straight out the back wall. Now for our sconce lighting, we're going to have 2. One's going to be up here between our window and the back wall. Our other one's going to be on the other side of the camper, kind of similar in location, but just right inside the door. So when we open the door, we can turn on the lights. Now there's something about these sconces we're going to add just a little bit of structure to. It shows 2 screws right here. I know you can't see those, but it shows 2 screws which would be attaching to our wall there. But these walls are just little 1/4 inch, 3/16 inch panel board. So we have to do something special in order for these lights to stay up there a long time. Let me go show you what we're doing. Now here on the back side of the trailer, you can see I put a block here. And what that is just a little 2.5 by 2.5 inch block with a hole in it. We run our wires through that hole, and this block is glued onto this panel here, and that'll give us plenty of strength to drive those 2 screws with to hold that sconce onto the wall. On our door side, I ran the electrical wiring. It comes out of the sconce here, goes down the frame over, goes through here, here, and then it goes inside of this cabinet and runs along the entire top of the cabinet so you don't see any of the wiring. On the street side of our camper, I brought the wire straight out the sidewall, as I mentioned before. It comes under here, through here, up here, goes to the sconce on this side of the camper, out, and then it goes right around this corner and into the fuse box. All right, here at our fuse box, this is the next area which we're going to be talking about. We are going to be adding our battery shut-off valve. It's not really a valve, it's a switch. And we're going to add our little battery monitor. And we're going to add our USB port. What I've decided to do is to go ahead and mount our shutoff right here, and then I'm going to run the wires through this little back wall here and down here where I'm going to, oops, you can't see it, and down, oh, we'll move you. There we go. So I'm going to run it out through this cabinet, and I'm going to come out the bottom of this cabinet, drill a hole in down here, and then our battery box is right inside of there. I'm going to have to build a little wooden chase to kind of hide the wires that go in here, but that's okay, because not only are we carrying the wires to go to the battery, the other thing I'm going to have to do is for our USB port, I'm going to drill a hole in this wall here, which that way I'll be able to access it from the inside. But because this kind of sticks out a little bit too long here, it's going to stick out here, and that'll also be hidden within that little box that I'm going to have to build. Whew, a lot of info. Hey, I'm going to get started on it, and I'll be right back. Friend fan friends, it's been a long several days here. It's not completely done, but we have lights. So you want to see the lights? Yeah. Okay. Let's show you the lights. Okay. So what do we need to do? Well, I should run you through it first. Here you can see the fuse box. I still need to put the cover on it. Not a big deal. This here is our on-off switch, which shuts the battery off. This here is the monitor, which tells us how much voltage is in the battery. This is the switch that turns that on and off. And if you look right up here in the corner, you can see that is our USB port. That is actually, you plug it in from the inside of the camper. Here are our cables. They're going to be run to the battery, and that's not quite finished yet, but pretty much it's just hooking up to the battery. It is dark. It's like we're out in the middle of a forest or something. we should turn on our lights as soon as I find them. All right, ready? 4, 3, 2, 1. There we go. Hey, isn't that great? Okay, now I talked about how I didn't want to see the lights directly in my face. This is perfect. I have the light over on this side of the cabinet, so it lights up this area. Even when this lid for the icebox is open, it'll shine down inside. Here in the center, it's great if you just want to do something on the sink and the stove. And then back on this side here, it just adds more light into this box here under the stove. And yeah, and if it's too bright, you just shut her down a little. And the thing I really like about it is you can't tell that it's been updated with LEDs. Everything is hidden behind everything. Now we're sitting on the inside. We have a little sconce here on the right inside of the door, and we have our sconce back here. We have our general lighting for down in this area. If we wanted to turn off the sconces, that gives just a nice little allure of glow. Or if we want to just go to sleep, good night. If we want to read, we have a reading light. It also works really well when you're filming in the dark to have this little light on to shine on your face, and not the one in the back that'll glow and glare into your eyes in your face. Good idea, huh? Hey, I like it. Speaking of like, I hope you liked and enjoyed this video. And if you did, go ahead and hit that little thumbs up. I'd appreciate that. And yeah, come on back next time. We're going to be talking about the water.